what is the formula for entrepreneurship where it's like the last step is bro down? The step right before that is sell out. There's
bond trading?
It's like start up, sell out, bro down. That's the formula.
Yeah,
it's the same as the underpants. It's the same as underpants. This is a TV thing.
Wouldn't it be?
How have you not seen this? It is not just a TV thing. It is like a silly TV show, comedian, culturally relevant 15 years ago. That is Woody Wood's wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounds like something that was on Suits, another show I've never seen.
It was not on.
I've heard tell of it. Isn't there Markle, the Queen, the Harry's lady friend?
Don't get me fired up. Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
What?
You're an instigator.
I didn't realize. I didn't know.
Are you going to say Tom Brady next? What are you going to do?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know that you were a royal lover or hater.
She's a trigger for me. She's a trigger.
In the positive or the negative?
Just I get a little worked
Depends
up.
on how you talk about it.
Yeah. Fair enough. You know what? Didn't see Suits, so we're going to leave it there.
Why are you running a hot dog Instagram you put more time and effort into than your entire career and most of your relationships, and not trying to grow it and not trying to monetize it? This is the podcast right here. A hot dog Instagram account that every one of my friends knows. I have family members that now apparently message you.
That's a much harder hitting question than I anticipated. That's gotcha journalism right there.
Probably because I'm an asshole. I once, the start of the hot dog lust was I got a message on my failed music blog site.
I don't think it failed. It was like one of the greatest music blog sites in history.
Solid. It was very solid.
And I was asked by a friend's wife, a legitimate question. She was worried about my health and why I posted so many pictures of hot dogs. She was genuinely concerned. And I didn't know how to respond without being a total dickhead. So she's a lovely lady.
So then you responded, and she doesn't talk to us.
So I sarcastically created Hot Dog Lust. I believe I was texting. You were probably on the text chain looking for names. And I created a Instagram account.
What was the original name of Hot Dog Lust?
I don't remember.
Hot Dogathon?
It was to make fun of.
There was a name before Hot Dog Lust, man. It was like, and we went with.
It was in the day when all of the ladies were taking those yoga selfies.
Yeah.
And everybody was trying to curate their own health.
Everyone was going to be a wellness influencer.
And I was taking a piss on that.
Living in South Florida.
But I didn't want to do it directly to this nice lady. So I was a dickhead and hid behind creating an Instagram that I somehow thought she would see and get the point, which is a very delusional idea. So that was the impetus behind creating Hot Dog Lust.
But what? All right, that's a great origin story, and it's 90% true.
His muse is passive aggressive.
It's more true than almost everything else that comes forward from him, right? And like that's the first time in all of history where Woody and I didn't just simply interrupt you the entire time you tried to talk.
Because you like how frustrated I get, worked up,
and we like our sound of our own voices. But like, why didn't you try to grow this like in a meaningful way?
Because hot dog jokes are corny, and I don't like corny shit. And that was the whole thing that's funny to me is that I have an Instagram account that's called Hot Dog Lust, but none of it's a thirst trap. None of it uses sexy women. None of it is dick jokes. It is wholesome, and it evolved into this whole weird thing where I DJ songs to people's hot dog pictures, and the whole idea in my head was I could show this to my mother-in-law with a straight face, and the reaction was hysterical, and this did happen.
But you could do basic growth things that aren't in those categories, but you're not. You're DJ. You're South Florida, self-declared South Florida's greatest hot dog related DJ.
Instagram hot dog.
Instagram. Sorry, Instagram.
There might be somebody on another forum
that's better.
But nobody on the gram is doing it better than I am.
Right.
Nobody.
It's true.
And like even that alone, like that logo and pushing that out would be funny.
I think it's hysterical, but it's
right.
It's
but you're not telling anybody except for us.
because that ruins the joke. That ruins the joke to promote it. To me, and that's all I care about is it's me making stupid jokes. And every one of the jokes that I make on the Lust is about that person, and it's personal. So if you send me a hot dog, they're inside jokes on inside jokes. It's all inside pool. It's all complete nonsense. It is not for the masses.
So for any of the 17 people that do listen, if you made it this far in, Blake and I have known each other since 1998.
Yeah, 97, 98, whatever.
98. And then Woody,
I think I met Blake in 09.
09
After I moved back to
and
Florida.
12.
Through the band scene.
So
you
we
guys in
so we
12.
know each other pretty well at this point. Why do you think Blake refuses to grow the hot dog lust?
Oh, I don't have a
You think he's a
hypothesis
bitch?
here.
Like, what do you think? Come on.
I honestly
You never thought about it once.
just too busy. He's got a very full life. There's a lot going on. I mean,
We're
he's-
going on a 3-day hot dog-a-thon.
Yeah, but we're late specifically because he was on a 3-hour call
Yeah.
with some law dogs.
But he's getting beat up. But no, like seriously, like why do you think, like you've known him 15 years, why do you think he hasn't grown the lust beyond what it is?
I honestly,
Which is a great thing.
yeah, I couldn't say I have a.
Why do you think? Guess.
I honestly,
Woody,
mine
come
is
on, spit
mine
it
is
out,
mine's
spit it out.
laziness. Mine is laziness.
I know yours. We all know yours.
Yeah. The Mouthy Manor at the Mouthy Manor on
You just
Instagram.
stop- you just occasionally
Yeah.
make a funny post and then disappear for 9 months.
It-
yeah, that's the
it
recipe
came
for
a-
success
well,
on
that
social
came
media.
That came about just so I could get free things. Like, hey, I've got
Yeah.
a food blog, if you will.
We got
if
free
that was
we
a
got free
thing.
pickles today.
Free pickles. I've gotten free
Coleslaw.
barbecue out of it. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why. I don't want to speak for this man.
We want you to. We want you to speak for him.
I'd say not without my lawyer, but he's here, so
Yeah.
now I'm screwed. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I just
never
assumed
asked
it-
him?
No, I never ever did. Why? How come? Why did you not want to?
Well, that wasn't ever the point of it. I tried to build a website, a music blog.
That was true, and that was very fun. I wrote several pieces for that. I think I occupied the silly lane.
I mean, your stuff and Smashly's stuff got way more likes than anything I ever wrote.
That's
That
true.
was
Brad, that's true.
an ad girl from New York City who only likes 80s music got way more likes than I ever did. Yeah.
You used to bounce me the weird stuff. Like I remember you calling me one night, and you're like, "You know that song by that band Fun with a period at the end of it? Can you give me some words on that?" And I was like, "Sure, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? So, all right. So you brought up Smash, and we just can't have her on. She's the fourth person in the imaginary band, and we can't have her on the podcast because of the shrillness of her voice. And
Nasally shrill.
She peaks the levels immediately.
people will be deaf. after
Dogs
that,
bark.
Right? Deaf.
Yes.
Yes. And the showering thing, which even Holly's like, I don't understand this.
You should probably qualify that we know about her showering habits.
Let's leave it out
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Leave it out there. Let people guess. It's fascinating. So the general theme of the podcast is creatorship, that like you start doing these things, you build these things, you put them into the world, and like eventually you put enough time and effort into it and someone's going to go, I'm going to monetize that. That's it. And like a lot of people do it. You simply choose not to.
The music blog was hard work. I was lawyering. I was drinking heavily. I was squandering relationships. I had watched too much football. I run my mouth too much. I play shitty guitar.
How's that changed from then to now?
You asked why it's not been done yet. This is why.
Yeah, no.
So life is busy, but the seeking out advertising, when I realized with the music blog, the effort that it's not just go to a show, write a review. You need to talk to people, and you need to network, and you need to build not only a fan base, but you build a network. And then there's the quid pro quo with the vendors and the people, and you have to work out those deals. And then there's there's arrangements and obligations and it took all the fun. It took the sex right out of it. It was like marriage. Is a horrible. There's a joke. Yeah. It was.
So you got to be ready with that. The drummer needs to be ready with that. Like
it was hard work, and the lust, as corny as it sounds, is about the personal interactions, like with the dad bros in Fort Lauderdale. They send me shirtless selfies, and we make a joke out of it. Right? They want to make fools of themselves. I let them make fools of themselves. Skinny pretty girls I know send me pictures of the hot dogs and they giggle about it, and I put a song to it. And then they laugh, or they're like, "How do you know that song? You used a rap song. You don't like rap music." And I'm like,
that's a lie. You like rap music?
I mean,
just good rap music.
Yeah. So yeah, the answer to your question is it's hard work, and
but isn't being a lawyer hard work?
it is. The social aspect of it was hard in a relationship I was in at the time,
Without a doubt.
because it is draining, because you have to be, I'm an attention seeker. And when you're out there seeking attention, it threatens relationships, and you're out exposing yourself, you're exposing that partner that you're with, and you invite, new things. And those new things could be pretty young girls. Those new things could be more drinks than you should have. They should be staying out too late and not going to work in your best shape the next day. So it starts messing with your home life and your work life and your other things.
So now we have hot dogs.
So now you suffer through hot dogs instead of pontification about Deer Tick's last album.
I like the album. Woody's like,
I wasn't but
He was
it's not my favorite.
I like the last album.
It was the cutting room floor stuff from the previous album.
Well, yeah, that's the EP, but I like the contractual obligations.
Yeah, there's some good tunes on there.
It's got a couple good tunes on it. To be fair, I've only given it 3 listens. And then anything else that came up in shuffle, that's it. But yeah, I haven't given it a ton of listens.
He's not listening to it.
He's not listening.
What the fuck is he doing?
I'm sorry.
He's not living to the Resounders credo.
Give us some words on this, for Christ's sake, man.
Yeah, we need words. You know what? We're giving him an assignment. He's writing.
Michael, was it because
We're gonna need 600 words.
You know what's funny? And
You know what? We're gonna need a TikTok post on contractual obligations, 6 of them by the end of the weekend.
It's funny that Blake brings up the unwanted attention. Way back in another life, before my second marriage, I worked at a piano bar, as you know, and I had big fish in a small pond syndrome. I was a very famous person in the Tri-County area in Florida. There was not a bar I could go to in South Florida without someone being like, "What?" and then like handing me
A drink.
many Jaeger shots, many drinks.
I had people. Blake's the only person that anyone ever meets that drank with me.
I don't ever tell those stories.
Right. I had
I've
people.
heard a few.
I had
They're
people
doozies.
that I couldn't stand, but those people could drink Jaeger shots at like 3:30 a.m. Right? Like you got those friends that you didn't like, you didn't want to be around, but man, they were still alive at 3:30.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those. We would do 20 beers a night and 10 shots or whatever. It was we called ourselves the Trash Pack affectionately, and we were just a bunch of trash pandas. And as soon as I met who eventually turned out to be my wife, I ended up quitting the bar because I was like, this is not conducive to a normal life in any way, shape, or form. We actually had a waitress. I got up to go to the bathroom. We were at a place in West Palm, and I got up to go to the restroom. I've been out of the game for like 6-8 months at least. And the waitress came over and she was like, "That's Woody from Huge Organs." And my then girlfriend was just like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I wanted to F that guy so bad." And I wasn't at the table. My wife told me that, and I was just like, I'm really sorry about that. I was embarrassed because I was a very nerdy.
No, you were like, oh,
No,
yeah,
I was
come
very
on.
nerdy. I was a very nerdy kid.
You are a nerdy kid. You're
I
still
am.
a nerdy kid.
Like
but
I
he was
stumbled.
Like,
I stumbled into the gig by being goofy, and so I'm still just that goofy kid.
So if you're trying to sell Chris and I, the reason you guys aren't trying to grow what you're doing is because
oh no, that was just I was just
will give you
identifying with
attention.
I was just
and
identifying.
free drinks.
I was just identifying
girls.
with what I was identifying with what he
I
said.
just kept going to the bathroom. All these
Yeah.
girls saying they wanted to have me.
It was all. It was.
Like, come on.
It's pretty
but
young girls.
It's not real life. That's not real life. And so
But why
that was
not?
part of the. It's just. I mean, it might be for Tommy Lee or
Woody Wood at
possible
Huge Organs.
But I wanted to actually settle down and have a nice normal relationship. I'd been in that world for several years, and it was very, very fun. I definitely got some partying done, but it's not conducive to a healthy lifestyle, I don't think.
I never got that kind of attention from my music blog. I do get a lot of attention for hot dog lust. Like when I walk into certain Publixes, the deli guy's like, meat guy, hot dog guy.
Yeah.
That honestly, I get noticed in the wild. They're like, are you the hot dog guy? Yeah, I'm the hot dog guy. I'm like, super impressive. People really swoon over that shit.
How do you guys feel about the listeria outbreak in the deli meats?
I'm not
It's
worried.
concerning.
Yeah, I'm not worried. I'm not going to eat it.
I'll stay away from.
And
the
if I
boar's
get
head.
it, I'll we'll deal with it.
Is that a real thing? The Boar's Head had a
Yeah,
Store
yeah, it's
7
huge,
million
like,
pounds
yeah,
of meat
it's-
has been recalled as
I think like 35 people like got seriously sick and ended up in the hospital or something.
That's
Like,
terrible.
In like one neighborhood in New York, right? Like, yeah.
To be fair, I'd still take boar's head over any of the meat, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. It's
yeah.
good stuff. Boar's Head's right over here in Brooklyn.
didn't know that.
Yeah, headquarters.
Learned
There's a
something new.
fantastic Persian restaurant facing the thing called Evil, Eyval.
Beautiful.
Persians.
Not Iranians.
Persians.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. So, hot dog lust. You're the hot dog guy.
Yeah. There's a funny story about this, that most people believe that hot dog lust is a guy named Chuck who lives in Pompano Beach, Florida. Well, he lives in Lighthouse Point. And that's honest to God truth, is that I get thirst trapped from time to time by women, or women send me DMs on hot dog lust believing I am a in shape 6'4" ex-professional baseball player.
Now that's funny.
This is a real thing that happens in my life.
Because you keep showing his picture shirtless
Yeah.
as if it's you.
I do not. No, I
You
do.
are
I tag him in
catfishing.
it.
He
Dog
He's been
fishing.
does
He's
tag.
dog fishing.
He does tag.
I tag him in it. By the way, he's the biggest family guy in the world. He would blush just to hear me say this. He's doing it for a joke. The guy's not. He's not looking for ladies. He's Mr. Family Man, and I'll. That's not it. But it is as funny as it is demoralizing that women reach out to me and then I have to explain to them that I am not a tall, good-looking guy. I'm exactly what you would expect from a hot dog guy.
That is-
From the
I'm
hot dog lust.
5'10",
I am hot dog
chubby
lust.
guy. I am hot dog lust. Yeah. Yeah, that's the reality of it.
That's awesome.
So we started talking about this a little bit today. Is like, now we have become the hot dog guys in our own life because you are the hot dog guy. And like,
We're
we
hot
were-
dog guys by proxy.
We were the My Morning Jacket, Dear Tag. Like, we were the people at that. We were assholes and ascots because you were assholes and ascots. We're the band. And I think a lot of like the Chris's and those folks would be like, yeah, like Noble's not the band. Like he's not the keyboardist. You know, like people that know you are not like, well, Woody's the drummer. Like you're the lead singer here. You're the lead guitar. You're not very good at the guitar, but like we have to suffer through that. But like whatever.
Yes. When it
By
comes
the
to
way-
fancy trends, you're our Mick.
I love sending guitar videos and annoying people. It's almost better than when people like my playing. It's an amazing troll.
I love the guitar. I just don't know. I want to be able to play. Like I've actually talked to you about it when we were on the phone. I'd be like, you got to get some Pro Tools and like tell me what to get and send it. I'll put a drum track in it and then we'll do some stuff. And you're like, yeah. I got one. I'll send you. And then you just, it's a fuzzy video and it's like 23 seconds long. And I'm just like, yeah, that's what that is.
It is.
I've never watched one of him playing
Yeah.
guitar.
Really?
I've never clicked through it.
It's like getting a Jamie Brown YouTube video. I'm like, I don't know what that is. I've never
Yeah,
like.
I'm not touching that.
I'm not looking to open that up. I
If
don't
it's
know
a
what's in there.
YouTube clip, I will click it from Jamie because sometimes it's either good music or like a food video.
Yeah, but sometimes
Any
you're
other
wrong.
link, I'm not even going near.
I said say whatever comes into your mind, but I think the rest of the weekend, whenever Jamie Brown comes into your mind, just
Just put that
Just
aside.
that one we put aside.
just
We're not
park
going to
that.
edit him out. We're
Just
just
park
gonna,
it.
Yeah.
I love Jamie.
Yeah. Jamie's Jamie.
Yeah.
I was going to say Jamie's good people, but Jamie's Jamie.
I had a text.
Jamie's Jamie. That hasn't changed.
I was having a text exchange with someone the other day.
I've
and
known Jamie Brown longer than
Yeah.
everyone here, which is weird,
It is weird.
considering that I haven't talked to him in 30 years.
You saw him at the wedding, I think, didn't you?
I didn't talk to him.
Huh.
I haven't talked to him. I don't think I've talked to him since he's been your friend. Maybe like, hey.
Fair enough.
So anywho, somebody sent me a text message, and my reply was, I've always been the ridiculous person, and that person's reply to me was, "You're friends with Jamie Brown." And I was like, well, I gave a text response that is completely inappropriate for any forum.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that to the
We're
side.
going to leave that
yeah,
there. Yeah, you're friends with Jamie Brown.
Yeah, I'm friends with Jamie.
That's the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your social clip. Like, we'll cut that out of the podcast and give that to you.
There's always somebody that's one-upping you. Like I'm
That's true.
I'm not friends with Perry Farrell, you know. But there is always somebody who's an exaggerated version of your nonsense. And
What did you love about the music blog?
I love that I was passionate about it. I loved that I cared. I mean, I cared deeply about it, and I found it interesting. It was a lot of the same concept. It's not in a jokey way, but in a real way. The thing about my music blog was this high-minded idea that we weren't the assholes at Pitchfork. We tried not to shit on music. The idea was that we love music. So we weren't music critics. We were just talking about it. Who could possibly care what my love of this song is about, right? Like, who am I to even care that I love this song? But again, it's self-indulgent. I'm not critiquing it. I'm telling you I like this. And then people are like, who are you? Why do I care that you like this? Well, I'm cooler than you. I mean, that was the idea behind it.
So that is, I'm cooler than you. I think that sums up it, actually. Like, why don't I use social media growth methods that are proven with content that's I'm already doing? Because I'm not going to.
Yeah, because it's not cool.
It's not cool.
I was just lazy,
Yeah.
which isn't cool. I need to work harder. And I'm sorry, Mom. Continue with your program.
Yeah. Continue where you come from. Why'd you show up this week?
I like eating hot dogs and being silly.
Yeah.
I had some open space on my calendar.
Yeah.
But
But I
you guys
mean,
are two
like,
of my favorite people to hang out
30 hot dog places or something. That's insanity.
He went on a hiking trip in Scotland and didn't hike.
Yeah.
I hiked one day and I blew out my knee and my hip, and I was like, guess I'm not hiking anymore. To be fair, it was also supposed to be a trail that's relatively horizontal.
He
as
hasn't
opposed
stopped
to just
talking about this
stairs.
since the trip.
It was daunting. It was daunting. I can walk for miles and miles in a straight line, but as soon as you make it Stairmaster for 5 hours, 6 hours, I seem to struggle.
But he made it.
He did. There was some vomiting. I was impressed. Yeah, I was in third place, I think, the majority of the way, and then after a while, I was just like, nope, I do not need to injure myself on vacation. But also, I'm a contractor, so I need, like, this is part of my tool, so I need to make sure that I can actually walk on a job site, as opposed to, you know.
You get the chance to be on reality TV. Tell us a little bit about that, like the lead up to the cabins.
So when I first got to Maine, my buddy Brad, who is also a hilarious goofball, he was telling
I don't know
me
about
that he had recently heard from this lady who wanted to make a TV show about, you know, construction in Maine, and they were hoping for a family thing. And Brad has siblings that are all in construction. They all each, two brothers and a sister that each have their own businesses, and so he wasn't sure if it was actually a real thing. And so I got on the horn
It
with
sounds
this
like
lady,
bullshit.
and I talked to her for a little bit, and she was from I guess it was DIY is what the network ended up being, and we sent her packets and we little clips and all kinds of stuff, little bios, and she loved our crew, and she was like, "You guys are it. If we can get a carpenter, because we're only plumbing and heating." She was like, "We also need carpentry." Well, that's easy. We've got 3 different companies in the family. We'll just ask one of them to do it, and all of them, because Maine is kind of a, I don't know, it's strange. Even getting into commercial construction up there, a lot of the contractors that we work with are like, "Yeah, no, I'll stick with residential." They don't want to do anything bigger than what they're already doing. And they're doing multi-million-dollar houses, so it's not like they're small projects, but for some reason they just didn't want to jump into anything bigger than that, which I thought was, I guess, interesting. A lot of those, are and sons type of companies, so they just want to work with their same customers, whatever they do. They want to stay in the wheelhouse.
But like, how do you not find, like, how did you not become a fucking contract? Like, Chris gets the offer, he's going to get his GC license.
I think in hindsight, seeing Maine Cabin Masters as the show, it's like, okay, I didn't realize that was what it was. We hear these, they're talking about it, and until you see the finished vision, it's kind of, I bet if we asked his siblings now, one or two of them may have been like, you know what? Probably should have done that. But they're also all retired now, I believe. So maybe not. They're a little bit older than he is. He's got a 12-year difference between his next closest sibling, so maybe they just weren't into our tomfoolery.
So, like, you get to the point where, like, they're asking you for a DIY network show.
Well, they were asking for a DUI.
Yeah, you've been asking for a
contractors.
DUI. You've been asking for a DUI for a long time.
Fucking
But a
lobster.
DIY show, and somehow, like, did Brad not want to do it? Did he really want to do it?
He wanted to do it, but he was kind of take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Because he was also still trying to grow the business and do a couple of other things. And
Well, what grows the business better than being on fucking Maine Cabin?
well, that was not what he was anticipating. He was thinking that was it jokey? Was it going to be a real serious thing? Was he going to have to like put a whole? Because I mean, we have a couple thousand customers that were, some of them are we talk to on a every 2-3 months, and we have to put that aside to focus solely on this. Would he lose his customer base? There was just some concerns, I guess. I was all in because I'm an attention whore, and I very much liked the idea of attention, but I kind of also was a little naive as to how the business was going to work, what else was
Don't you
needed from
think
it.
you would have been back in that Woody the?
I would have been, yeah, that was another thing that, well, at that point I was probably 10 years removed from it. I was also married. I was far more settled down.
changed in life.
Yeah, a different stage in life from that, from your
What do you think
mid-20s.
Woody reality TV star would be?
It would have been
No,
a mess.
with Brad, the potty jokes
With
would have
Brad?
been. It just would have been one long bleep.
It would have been a mess. It would have been a mess.
Are you? You're lazy, you said.
No, I wouldn't say lazy. I don't tolerate nonsense well unless it's my own brand, which is why I work so well with you guys.
Right, but
We all share the same brand of nonsense.
you're not. I don't know how many times I've been like, "Oh, Woody could do this." So, Woody would fancy himself a comedian. We got another person over here that thinks he could be a comedian. Like, right?
I don't
Like,
think I could be a comedian. I tried stand-up in the early aughts, and it's very, very difficult. I'm not a great writer. I'm more of an in-the-moment person,
You're
I think.
a funny guy.
I can be humorous, I
quippy?
guess. And I write funny stories. For my stuff for Resounders, I think was pretty entertaining. It was always lighter fare. I don't write super heavy things, although I've written a
You
couple
have a
of
pipe
I've written
and
some
a captain hat.
I wrote a really stellar eulogy for my friend's father after he passed, and it was so good. And I literally just wrote it for her on her Facebook, and she was like, "Can you send me that because we'd like to get it put together, whatever."
You're a real George Bush.
I'm a poet, and I was not yet aware of the fact of the matter. It's just, I don't know. I stand-up is really difficult. I love being on stage in front of people, and I love making people laugh. But at the piano bar,
Nobody likes making someone laugh more than Woody.
it was it's a drug. It is better than any other feeling. Just having a room of 500 people just buckled over with laughter at something silly that you've done.
There's some way to make a living making people laugh.
There most likely is, yeah. But I also,
So it's lazy, or is it? Like,
well, at that point, I would just, grown up, you're married, we live in Maine. It's kind of, I'm out of the game. It's the
why?
It's the John Lennon, I'm watching the wheels go round and round, I'm out of the game, that whole sort of thing. I don't know, it was a little, it got away from me a little bit. That persona, the Woody persona in my 20s, it definitely got away from me.
But the Woody persona in his 40s is pretty good.
Oh, he's a different person. He's a different
You can
animal.
be
He's a
different,
kinder,
but it's
gentler,
still funny.
softer person. And I just haven't tried to do it. It was at this point, I'm, doing construction, we're building a business,
Why
all
not?
that stuff. Now, I mean, I'm recently divorced. I don't
Ladies?
own a home anymore.
Ladies.
So I've got time on my hands, and I could
Tie-in
dedicate
with Hinge and the construction would have worked.
I could dedicate time and energy.
Dude, Alana
Hammer
from
those
Hinge was
buns.
just here.
I missed out. It's a shame.
Well,
but,
no. She's married.
Yeah, no, not on her. I'm
she was
saying
on
to-
it. She was like a personality on Hinge.
Right, she could-
You didn't miss anything.
No, I'm just if she.
I love her.
Throw me.
I'm
in.
sure it wasn't as serious as this.
Yeah,
No.
very serious.
It was. It was.
But you work out, you become a party animal, and then it's like, well, I have to be. That's not how the real world works. If you're in South Florida as a
Human beings.
human being, it is the most ridiculous. Like, I have friends, obviously in New York City, friends who've been to Vegas, friends who partied all over the world, and I'm like, if you've never done like a night in South Florida with the right group, you don't know how ridiculously, like, it is sex, drugs, and alcohol around every corner.
No rock and roll. That
You
is
just-
true.
No rock and
No
roll.
rock and roll.
Yeah, we're
There's-
not allowed to.
The
There's
band scene is
salsa.
not great. It's too far to travel down, too far south. But no, it's around every corner. And South Florida, if you're not equipped properly, it can get away from you. It can get a hold of you and get away from you.
Almost anywhere.
Yeah, but South Florida's how many bars are open from 7 a.m. to 5 a.m.? And the rule at 5 a.m. is you got to get out, or you can stay and keep drinking, but you got to stay till 7 a.m. and they reopen again.
There's
I
a
know
few.
a couple.
There's a few.
It's
We got a few in Buffalo.
yeah, I'm
We just
sure.
lost the greatest one.
Oh,
The old pink.
RIP.
R.I.P.
Shame.
Still broken up about it. Haven't celebrated yet.
But I was at
How many beers do you think you've drank?
Oh, ever?
Ever? Me?
Yeah.
Holy dear Lord.
This
That's
is that
not, I mean,
Detroiter scene. He's just gonna start doing this. Are you counting beers too?
I
10 to 12.
that number would be my life in my late teens and 20s was just disgusting. I
It
drank
wasn't
too much.
disgusting. I was hanging out with you roughly at that time. I thought it was okay. I had to quit. You ran me into retirement, but
Yeah, my Buffalo friends, we've lost a lot of them during COVID and that. But yeah, there's
what's your favorite hot dog that you've done on the Lust? What's your favorite song hot dog pairing?
my favorite was a trip to Scotland. I had a haggis dog.
Which trip was that? Was that our trip or
There was a
the
trip
recent
trip
one?
with the wives.
the wives? Yeah.
I don't remember the song, but I remember that post. It was one of the most. It was as excited I could ever recall being to post. I had a good
That
one.
haggis dog.
I had a good one skiing in Ellicottville. It was funny because they were serving hot dogs on the top of the ski slope. I'm like, what could be more flipping Buffalo than they're doing Salen's dogs at the top of the mountain. It's the top of a hill, but that was a fun one. But that's the answer is that
Those
that
two.
haggis dog. Yeah,
What was the best pairing with the song?
the best pairing with a song.
You've had some
Because
good
he knows every song that he's ever, because he's never repeated a song with a hot dog.
God, that's a
tough ask. I mean, just as a fan, I've chuckled at many, and I couldn't pick one off the top of my head. I don't even know if I have the recollection to even grasp.
I'm
it.
not smart enough to figure out the connection from the song to the hot dog.
well. That's
There's
most
some
of
fun
us
ones
aren't.
in there.
That's my no. I know nobody's paying that much attention other than the person I'm doing.
Other
it
than
to.
Woody. Are you simply sending it to Woody?
No,
This is the whole Instagram account designed to make Woody laugh.
It's to that person. What it doesn't infuriate me. What I find frustrating is that there are people that send me their dogs with a song, like they link me to it, which is great, and I'm gonna post it. But they're not getting the joke. They don't get the joke is that I'm the one who's supposed to find some song to DJ to your hot dog that has never been used before. So some of my favorites are like these absolutely obscure.
What happens if you, the end of the hot dog a-thon or Worldwide Weenie Tour?
Worldwide Weenie Tour.
Weenie Tour. You got 5,000 followers and someone offers you XYZ for something. You know, thousands of dollars.
I would entertain it.
There you go. But you wouldn't do it.
I would do it if it was on my
No.
terms.
I mean, but you wouldn't do it.
Oh, you're saying
You wouldn't
take
drive,
the extra steps
you
to
wouldn't
make that
take
happen.
the steps to make it happen. Because
Organic, yeah.
he's like so close. Like Ashley and I sit on the beach. We all go to the beach 8 times a year, something like that. And at some point during the day at the beach, someone looks at Hot Dog Lust and goes, Blake could just not be working. This could be a big enough thing.
Well, listen, there's so many different times. Insert whatever pretty lady I know. I could just, hey, boobs or this, and we just
But you
blow
don't
it
have
up.
to do that. That's not the growth
I know, that's
mechanism. The growth mechanism is putting a quippy, funny thing, send the picture to Woody. Woody comes up with a funny thing to say, and then attach your song instead of just Charlie Clee.
So you don't have to compromise your vision for the
Yeah.
page.
I mean, I'm not sitting here pretending that I'm some kind of purist. It's just that I don't want to do anything that's not cool.
That's fair.
And I know most people don't think what I'm a 2%er. 2% of people think I'm cool and funny, and that's all I need.
I'm not gonna lie though, going pro at being a hot dog DJ on Instagram, that's a guy about as cool as
That's
it
Miles
gets.
Davis?
That's best. Yeah.
Pee my pants.
Hell yeah. That's impressive right there.
Steve
man.
McQueen.
Hell yeah.
It's not many tweaks. Do you follow?
No, I don't. I'm being introduced to this
It's
world.
not many tweaks to get it to where it's like
Any friend I've ever mentioned it to, they immediately follow and send a picture, and they love it.
and they
They're like, that is the
immediately-
funniest thing ever. I love it. Yeah, because it's
Like-
amazing.
The real joy
I
that
don't
I
think
get.
Stephanie wanted to do the tour because it's mine. I think she wants to do it because Hot Dog Lust is on the tour.
She likes the hot dog.
She's like, saw it. She's like, this works. Like, there's potential. This is a thing.
because it does.
My favorite is when friends of friends' kids find out about it from their parents talking about it at a barbecue, and I get a picture that little Timmy in Nantucket would be super excited if I put his picture on, and then they suggest a song, and then it's really, I gotta look in the mirror and be like,
It's the wrong song.
do I placate Timmy and play that song?
Yeah.
I'm not playing fucking Imagine Dragons, man. It's just not happening. I don't care that he wants that dribble.
How
I'm
about you
not doing
imagine
it.
a new band, Timmy?
See?
Yeah.
He's got a point.
It's true.
He's not wrong.
He's
I'm
not
just an
wrong.
asshole. So the answer to your original question is yes, I've been approached several times by brands and hot dog stands about doing stuff for them.
You could franchise Hot Dog Lust as a stand across the country,
That's true.
without a doubt.
You could do a
Or
hot dog
thing,
less pop-up
pop up.
across.
And it's
Across
like,
the
it's
Southland, it
actually
would
easy. Like, okay, you could just do a fucking t-shirt design that people could press the button on.
But similarly, or weirdly, my friends that I grew up with in Buffalo that all eat hot dogs like I do, they don't follow Hot Dog Lust. They're not on Instagram. They think it's stupid that I do this because
Yeah,
that's just their lifestyle. They're like, what are you talking? Like, why would anybody look at that shit, dude? We all got a 5-pound bag of Salins in our freezer, and we have for the last 30 years. And we grill those sons of bitches every time we get drunk, which is every other night of the week. And we listen to songs and bust each other's balls. And you're doing it like a
I
dipshit
sent
kid
out
on the internet.
t-shirt design in a couple of texts and had 5 people be like, how much? And I had to text Jack and be like, yo, Jack, how much are these? And he's like, they're $35.
There you
Like,
go.
that's what you just tell people. Because he's like,
That's
if
what a
you
shirt
could sell
costs
100
nowadays, though.
Well, just enough.
Yeah.
Fucking t-shirts aren't here, bro. We
The
got
t-shirts, of course, they didn't arrive.
They were guaranteed at 2:30 today. They come 2:30 tomorrow.
Okay.
So we got to
You sound like my ex-wife, Blake.
Yeah.
You never deliver. You're full of shit.
Lust, not love, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Lust,
Exactly.
not love.
It's the lust, not love. Yeah.
What? Dude, you've been through 20 of these, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've asked the questions that I would ask. I've pushed to the level I would. What would I do? Is there a free pass I'm giving him, like, for being friends? Or you think he knows the show better than me? He has to, like, then watch it, re-edit it.
Oh.
And I just don't, I don't want to be not, I don't want to be the guy that's like a dick to some 25-year-old girl or some dude and then not be a dick to you because I
Yeah.
like you.
I think you've been.
Are you full of shit or are you just like, are you afraid or are you like,
Me specifically?
yeah, you either one, but you.
Well,
are you afraid or are you just like,
I wasn't afraid. I thought it was time for me to grow up and become
why?
a
Why
real.
the fuck would you grow up? Like,
I
in
didn't-
all honesty, like, end of life, we die.
Well, now I don't want to. But at the time, it was I absolutely needed that overcorrection because I was such a wild idiot. I absolutely needed that.
I can get that.
So
I don't know if I believe you, knowing you as long as you do, but I can understand
It took
that
me.
statement.
It only took a couple of years, but it did. It did take
I mean,
me
I
some
haven't
time.
drank since 2000, so
Yeah.
I understand overcorrecting.
It took me some time to find that happy medium, but once I found it, I've never had any issues, and then I just was in marital bliss. So at that point, I didn't need anything. I was so content with my life. It was great. The American dream.
We calling bullshit on that, or are we letting it go?
I really was. I was really
Are
content.
we calling, like,
I mean, I also
I
lived
don't
in-
care. I'll let it go, but what do you think?
I think I don't understand Woody's thing. I don't understand why he doesn't believe in himself like we all believe in him.
Oh, well, that's just childhood nonsense coming back to rear its
Yeah,
ugly
we
head.
don't need to have a shrink
Yeah,
thing
we're not
about
gonna
it.
do
That's
that.
exactly
But we,
what that
we can
is.
kick him in the nuts on
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
rest of the week.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna bust his balls.
Yeah. But I mean, I think, yeah, right? Like, you see it.
Well, it's also risky. Like, I
Who
can't.
cares? What plumbing's risky.
It is, but
You
but-
end up covered in shit.
So I have a mom who was basically raised in like post-war England and came from, very frugal, if you had 2 cents, you keep those 2 cents and you eat dust or whatever. And so it was,
You could do that.
we weren't ever encouraged to, you have to get a good job. The arts was never even an option. I mean, I played trombone, I played drums.
This is all a business now.
It
There's
is.
no
Everything
art.
can be a business now, but you didn't realize. It's kind of like when parents used to say, "Oh, what are you going to grow up and be a professional video game player? You can't do that anymore." Well, you absolutely can do that now.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't know that at the time. But like my niece and nephew, my sister raised her kids completely different. It was basically like, "What do you want to do?" And they love the arts, and so they literally are starting.
And they'll be homeless.
They're actually they're actually putting on productions in Tennessee right now, and it's phenomenal the stuff that they're doing. But it was also encouraged highly and it was built up. Whereas I don't know, the South Florida public school
How
system.
many
and
times was your dad like, "Hey, you should"?
get a new job?
Oh, the
When are
one
you gonna
time,
be
the one time
serious?
I told him that I wanted to do stand up, he was like, do something that you're gonna go fucking make some money, dude." Like that was the verbatim. He's like,
That's just the,
and they
the
tell me all the time.
prevailing
It was
mental map.
yeah, it was kind of a boomer
is that you
mentality
can't-
was
you
imposed
can't do
upon
this.
imposed
Who
upon
cares
me
about
at that
imposing?
point. Yeah,
You,
but yeah,
you're free.
My
You're
dad told me not to
Yeah.
go to law school, and he was fucking right.
That guy was right.
yeah, we'd have been here an hour and a half ago. If you hadn't.
For
I'd
sure.
already be drunk.
Yeah. This would be. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah, this would be a totally different.
Very
Be
different
all
vibe.
scotched up.
Yeah, I'd like to ask David why
Go
he's
ahead.
failed so miserably in life. I mean,
Everything.
You're a
Everything.
lawyer.
I live in failure.
You get
I
a
fail-
doctorate.
Yeah, but I fail at everything.
You are
I fail at everything.
You are the
until
Michael
something's
Jordan
successful.
commercial. I've failed and failed and failed so many times in my life, and that is why I succeed.
I got like 14 successes.
it's
total,
but it's beautiful. You
and
gotta
like
keep them.
1,500
Michael Scott,
failures.
Wayne Gretzky.
oh, I got one.
Shoot
I got
them
one.
shots.
Now you guys ask him why
Yeah,
he
we-
wants to be famous, because this will be much better. Than
Why
when
do you
I
want to be a
asked- when
part of
I
the hot
asked him.
dog list so much?
I don't know if
I
those are
love-
the same
Yeah,
questions.
it's basically the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think
Because you told me you were coming for hot dog domination.
coming for world hot dog
domination.
domination. Yeah, I called him out.
Called me to the mat.
I called him to the mat, and
You
I'm
gave-
like, I will become.
Did we just step into a wrestling shoot?
Yeah,
What's that?
no. You,
brother.
Yeah,
you got
dude.
me on a plane during the work week to come up here.
Yeah, everybody's a little annoyed at me that I didn't invite them, and like, you're not even invited. You just showed up.
I did.
Yeah,
I invited him.
yeah, but I only invited Blake.
That's
I
not
like
true. You
calling
actually
people-
did invite
Yeah,
me.
yeah, probably. But I mean, but the conception, like the initial
But we needed
conceptualization
Blake, yes.
was like, Blake, let's go I got to do something that creates content to grow this thing. I don't want to do stupid things. I'll try stupid things. I'll do it. Whatever. It fails. But like, I really want to do, like, there's all these hot dog places. You got Hot Dog Lust. We'll come up. We'll go do it. But I also was like, I'm coming to be the most influential hot dog influencer in the group chat.
So
World domination.
That's step
if I
one.
can take over the 6-person group chat.
What's
as
the next
hot
step
dog
after
influencer.
that? World
No,
domination.
that's it. I've dominated the world, to his point. I think, and so why do I want to be a part of the Hot Dog List? It's like, well, one, we actually like you, despite the fact that you probably can't believe that we actually like you. We enjoy hot dogs, and it's fucking fun being the silly guy. I think the tool of Hot Dog Lust allows you to be silly, ridiculous, and have no social consequence of doing so, because you can just be like, oh, it's for the lust.
Yeah.
I worried about the consequences of coming up here. Honestly, I know that
Yeah, we're gonna make you famous.
it's not that. There are people that I told about this, and they immediately said the name, and I'm not going to say his name, but there are people saying, and I'm like, I'm not reviewing hot dogs. I'm not giving critiques of hot dogs. I'm going to have fun. I'm not that guy. I'm
just
not
eating 'em.
doing that shtick. Like some guy stole Howard Stern's stick because he doesn't do it anymore. That doesn't make you creative, right? You're punching down loser. Anyway, I'll stop my rant. I said the words.
Oh. He was made for this, dude. He was made for
Like, I was
this.
like, you know
He's
what I mean?
already
Like,
getting
that's
into
why I was like, you want to know what the show is? Like, the show is my idiot friends and I just fucking ranting on each other. That's all every great podcast ever is, right? Like the guests are boring.
pointing at the camera.
Yeah,
I'm coming
for you, Portnoy. This is the
Can't say
consequence.
anybody's
The
name.
lust will be bigger than Barstool. I'm gonna buy the fucking house next
At least
to
I
you
know
in
something about
Nantucket.
fucking hot dogs.
I'm gonna buy the house next to you in Nantucket, and then I'm gonna
Who
evict you.
gives a shit what that Michigan garbage person thinks about pizza?
Dude, it's,
I'm a masshole. I was born there. I'm better at it than he is. Oh God.
You were born in Massachusetts?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
thought
that's
he was
why I'm
born in
so angry
Connecticut.
and
I
stupid.
thought he was born in Connecticut.
Wow.
He's born in 7 places.
Buffalonian.
Wear a mask.
Worldwide Weenie Tour.
Worldwide Weenie Tour.
How many hot dogs are you gonna eat?
Oof. How many locations we got?
25, say.
I got
Minimum.
I'll do a dog per location. I have to.
Well, you're already down. He's already down.
Well,
only did
I will
1/3 of a
I
dog.
will taste a dog at every location.
Yeah, but he ate half of
I did
Did
have
he
a
have-
sandwich.
that
All right,
sandwich was
Here's the
amazing, by
hard-hitting
the way.
question. Are you as pissed as he was that he took the whole half of the pastrami sandwich?
No, I was happy. So,
So
Yeah.
I
didn't
actually
eat it.
was going to cut that, but then I was like, oh crap.
Cut it. You still have 4.
I'd already, yeah. I'd also I'd picked it up and manhandled it at that point. And I mean,
yeah,
you
you
guys don't want
fondled
my
it.
dirty dick beaters all over your sandwich. So, pardon my French.
I was happy to not be like starting off overeating, but when I was on my work call, I was getting
You were
cranky
getting a
because I
little
was
hungry,
hungry.
yeah.
And one of the
Rumbly
girls,
tumbly.
on the call was eating Fritos, and I was like, "You sassy bitch, why are you doing this to
you-
me?"
Was she at least on
Why you
mute?
No, she's a lovely girl, but why are you eating Fritos on our call?
Was she doing the garbage when you open it
She
up and
did
put
this
chili
too.
in the
She did
bag?
this. No, it was,
That's delicious. I don't care what anyone
we had
says.
walking Fritos with chili at
Yeah.
my wedding.
Yeah.
I think
It's
you were
good.
invited. You didn't come.
You know what? It was difficult.
The how many hot dogs you gonna eat? Call it.
25 to 30 probably.
I'm going 50.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna be around 50. We're gonna start grilling. He's gonna get drunk. We're gonna like.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if the gummies kick in, because the late night eats for me are pretty.
Yeah,
They gets
gruesome.
pretty serious.
All right, man. Well, that's the
All right.
podcast. That's what you do.
All
You
right.
just have fun.
Excellent.
Did you have fun?
I'd like to thank Culture Pop Soda, Strawberry and Rhubarb. Well done.
Did you have fun?
I did. I had a great time.
You're not a bad co-host.
This
I
is a
was
good
really
place.
worried that you wouldn't shut the fuck up throughout the whole thing and let him talk.
No, I'm.
You did a really great job.
I'm an Andy Richter. You know,
You did a great
I'll
job.
sit on the sofa and
The
chime in
hardest
when
part
you
is
need to
shutting
be.
the fuck up. By far.
Did I rant too much?
No, you're the guest, so you were supposed
You're
to.
supposed to rant. We need you. We need that.
That's exactly it. The hardest part is to ask a question. and
Am I
then
too
be quiet.
high-minded about my hot dogs?
Yeah, you're I don't want to be a purist.
I
but
do love that you've got this kind of just aloofness about your.
I'm aloof about everything. That's who I am. You haven't figured this out?
It's so delightful.
I'm an
to me.
uppity cunt.
The hot dogs were good. The hot dog was good today.
And also like that you're just
the
like
sauerkraut.
everybody's got a 50-pack of hot dogs, and he's got a fucking 50-pack of hot dogs in his freezer.
Yeah.
He's shooting outside. He's like, look at this, look at this shit, huh? I'm like, yeah.
What do you what do you likes hot dogs?
You know what? Here's a funny thing. I do have a favorite picture from Hot Dog Less. It was the one that I sent. I was making dogs on my grill.
Yeah.
That I
Sounds
sent.
like Woody.
Yeah, it's 'cause it's about me. But I scored it. I scored dogs with an X for whatever reason at that time,
Yeah.
and I charred it, and the char marks and the X split beautifully, and it was almost pornographic. So there was triple X on this hot dog with chili and everything, and it was just.
You over chili it. He over chili's a dog.
I do. It's a vessel for my joy.
I always see
want
your
it in me.
dog, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I gotta eat over the plate because
We got a friend with
I need a fork.
like Reddit karma, like you've never seen.
I don't even know what Reddit karma is.
Yeah.
That's a scary friend.
No. You know what? I'm like,
Oh,
so-
in every way, he's scary.
yeah. And I'm like, where'd you get all this Reddit karma? It's kind of like, you got to
that's
ask the
scary.
question, right? Because
He
like,
wants
you
to
want to
fight
know
a
if the
bear.
FBI is coming in. You gotta,
It's like, why do you have all this fertilizer? What are you doing, dude?
Right? You know why he's got it? He's like, so his answer, without skipping a beat, immediately is, oh, I post a lot in the onions or the I hate onions subreddit.
Oh, that's terrifying.
His wedding venue was populated by a group called Frackers Gone Wild. True or not true?
True.
True.
But it wasn't a wedding. So
It was okay. We won't get into that either.
we're going to
Like
leave
Jamie
that
Brown?
for the car
We're doing
ride
a
on
car ride.
Saturday. We're going to leave that for the car ride on Saturday. And we're going to make sure Atu is thoroughly afraid.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
All right.
Thank you, guys.